This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the ITintheD Show.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit?
Beyond the sun? Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit. No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
I dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to ITintheD.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bunghole?
Exactly. Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to this show.
Hi, this is Ralph Macchio, and you're listening to ITintheD Show. Wax on, you know what.
So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to ITintheD Show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to ITintheD.
Yes, Sensei!
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to ITintheD. All you nerds out there.
Nerds?
Nerds.
Nerds! What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump. ITintheD Show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is ITintheD.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. It's way too big.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
This is Robert Hayes, a tit striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the ITintheD Show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the ITintheD Show. Tough guy. Ho!
My name is Michael Zapsik from AMC's Comic Book Man. You're listening to ITintheD.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
We are live from Podcast Detroit. Thank you for listening. This is the ITintheD Show, and we made it all the way to episode 126. We are in our very own studios in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, always here with Dave the Geek. Nuri, the FNG, is in the house. Find us online, ITintheD.com, and give us a like on the Facebook. Follow us on the Twitter, and do us a favor. You guys have been awesome giving us iTunes reviews. I think we're up to 47. It's like a world record. I know, slow clap for that. We appreciate the kind words, and keep them coming. My goal for 2016 is to get us on one of those damn iTunes lists, and we're not on any of them.
Is this one of those goals that you're going to give up with 2 weeks into the year and just...
No.
Okay.
I do not make resolutions. Speaking of which, we have a full studio. Awesome. We have Michelle Gilbert here, who's the VP of PR for Comcast, your second official Is this your third or is this your second?
It's my second.
Second. Thank you for coming back. That means
we didn't do a good enough job the first time.
Yeah, no, I guess we weren't that mean the first time.
You were not mean. You were really nice.
No, but there's some cool initiatives got going on, and we look forward to the conversation. We also got Kari here from DetroitisDifferent.com.
Yes. What's going on?
We got a couple announcements to talk about with Kari, and we're going to talk about what he's doing on the website and some cool projects going on. Last but not least, we got Corey and Jeremy here from formerly of Yomacom fame, now of fanworld.us and .ca fame.
Oh, yes, definitely something you want to stick around to hear about, especially if you are loyal Midwest Media Expo and Yomacon goers.
It should be a fun conversation, multinational. Is it multicultural if it's Canadian and U.S.? Let's call it.
Well, they do poutine. So, that's
poutine
a
is
different
its own
culture.
So, yeah, once we have poutine, then it's ruined over there.
Yeah, then we've spoiled it.
We
for
already
everyone.
took Tim Hortons, and it's not
We
even,
did.
Yeah, so it's not even fun. But hey, before we get into everything else, it is a new year. It is a fresh start. Shave your straggle and your crappy little beard and your goatee. Me included.
Says the guy with the scraggliest, nasty ass looking goat in this place.
Mine's amazing. If you
are very clean.
Here's a no-brainer on a resolution. Stop overpaying for a great shave. If you've heard us once, you've heard us 100 times. Harry's.com is by far the best shave we've ever had in our lives. We were sick of paying $40 at the local drugstore. Harry's shows up at your doorstep, free shipping, looks like Loot Crate. It's a phenomenal product. My wife's been literally happy. I think each blade runs about 2 weeks. So
I'm getting a little more than that. I'm getting about 3 weeks. I don't shave every day.
Right.
It's good stuff.
But it's direct from the manufacturer. They bought the manufacturer in Germany, so you're getting it direct from the source. 5-blade cartridges. Seriously, I haven't cut myself or burned myself since we started. Full refund if you're not happy. The guys are great. It's the same guys as Warby Parker. They have a social component to it where they I forget. Do they give $1 from every to a charity? There's like 3 charities they support.
Really?
It's phenomenal company though. Already 1 million guys have made the switch. 1,000 more switch every day. Do us a favor. Instead of paying $32 for an 8-pack of blades, you can go to Harry's, get a starter set for $15. You get a razor, some shave cream, 3 razor blades. And if you use discount code.
There's still no Q in that damn word.
Discount code ITintheD, the number 5. That's ITintheD, the number 5. You get $5 off, free shipping, $10. It's a no-brainer. Like I said, I'm getting to the point now where everything's being shipped to my house. I don't want to go to the store at all anymore.
Do you have one of those buttons in your laundry room to reorder Tide?
No, because I have a 2-year-old, and we get like 47 Tides on Monday, so I've refrained from that. I'll order it on my phone. But yeah, do us a favor, Harrys.com, HARRYS. Use discount code ITintheD5, ITintheD, all lowercase, the number 5, and start your year off right, and we appreciate the support.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah?
Did you hear David Bowie died?
Yeah! All right.
Did you notice that at all today?
Yeah. Listen.
I was like, oh my God, David Bowie died. I'm so sad.
I'm gonna miss him so much.
Again.
It's bad. So on Monday, my mother comes over to pick up the baby, right? And she makes a cup of coffee, and she's looking at the news with me, and she goes, David Bowie died. And I says, yeah, Ma. She goes, all these people care now. They haven't probably listened to his album in 15 years. And I'm like, my mom gets it.
Yeah, exactly. When was the last time you sat down and watched Labyrinth,
My
Mom?
72-year-old mother gets it. Here's the thing. Today, if you were anywhere near social media, today was probably the worst day.
Wait.
You giving me some Godfather?
Go ahead.
Jesus, effing Christ. I've been mad since 9 o'clock this morning. This was the worst day in the history of social media, I think. There's nothing worse. 2 things happened today. This band, I don't even want to give them any justice, created a meme that said, and you all saw it by 47 of your smartest friends, that said, if you win the Powerball, they can take that money and give everyone in the United States $1 million. And everyone shared it. And we can end poverty. And then everything was great until you did math and realized 1.3 billion divided by 300 million people is $4.
And what's even worse, that band took an image of somebody else's, put their Twitter handle over the one that was already there.
You can see it.
Yes, and now this band that no one's ever heard of has hundreds of thousands of likes on Facebook.
It got 400,000 shares. By lunch.
What I've been, I'm not gonna lie. I've taken great pride in like my day whenever I've had a free moment. I have been every single person that shared it. I've been posting the Paperboy from Better Off Dead. I want my $2 on every single share that I could find. Everything, like I've been hunting them down. Because I want my $2.
And I was first or Dave was first, so we were fighting to see who could get there first.
Who can find our friends that were posting this crap?
I think I had like 30 friends repost, and then I just put $4. And I'm like, do the math. Do you realize if you gave everyone in the country $1 million, it would be $300 trillion? I did the math.
You know, perhaps the $1.3 billion would be better spent on math education.
On eliminating Common Core, apparently.
There's the what are they called? The Come On Learning Centers? Maybe you should go there.
Because the math is hard.
Why did people stop doing math? You realize how many times Dave, I mathed today, and he goes, "What did they do?
Would you piss off?"
Like, no, it's like I just did math. It's not that difficult. Like as soon as I saw it, like someone I like and respect very much, who's a prominent business person, put it out in the beginning. Wouldn't it be amazing if we eradicate? And I go, then here's the thing they don't like. Let's take it another step. Everyone gets $1 million. Do you think the cup of coffee is still going to be $3 at Starbucks?
Oh yeah, because they ignore this little concept called inflation.
Or fiat currency. It's not like it's on gold standard.
Yeah, even if it did work out that way, there's a reason why countries just don't print up more money.
The common sense thing would be that means that every person that bought the lottery ticket had to probably spend more than $1 million. And that's assuming that every person in America bought the ticket.
Well, and so like I was having this conversation where they're like, oh, because I mean, it is nice to dream. Like, what would you? Because even at $1.3 billion, okay, fine, you get the bulk payout. It's $800 and some odd million. I got mine.
I got mine too.
I bought mine.
Lots of middle fingers.
Exactly.
Lots of F-bombs. Oh boy.
No, so
like want to go out in a bang? Watch me win.
I'm like, you have no idea. People are like, oh, I'd probably still work. I'm like, I wouldn't. I'm like, you think I'm a jackass now? I have a little bit of an attitude now because of like the podcast getting to be successful and some of the stuff we're doing. You put $800 million in my bank account. Oh, I'll last an hour in this building before I'm escorted out. But so having this, like, what would you do, and what would you spend it on, and all that kind of stuff. And it's great to dream, but it's you start thinking about stupid stuff like, people are going to try to probably kill me, because you start thinking about all that stupid stuff, like the guy in West Virginia that won and got robbed like 8 times because he kept going to the strip club with a briefcase full of $10,000 at a pop.
I would totally do every day.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's that stupid and you like
Pac-Man Jones.
But someone was telling me that Mayweather in Vegas walks around with a belt, like the $1 million man Ted DiBiase, with $1 million in cash strapped to his like a belt, like a WWE belt.
Worst superhero ever.
I know.
If you do that, you need to have like the music playing everywhere you go.
Money.
Mariachi band following me. Or funk band, one of the two.
But no, you need the Ted DiBiase music, and you probably could hire Vincent.
Everybody's got a price.
You could probably hire the cast, because they're not doing the cast of New Jack City and Queen Latifah to hang around behind you.
Now here's the thing. Now let's go back to the other reason why I hate social media today. Great, I'm sad. David Bowie passed away. One of probably the best musicians of our time.
Well, you know what? Let's put a little rain on that, because let's not forget he was also 50% responsible for Dancing in the Streets.
Right.
And we all sat back and watched that happen, and everybody collectively blind, but let's not forget.
Everyone has a Payday song. Stop talking. But here's the thing, I get that you're, I was talking with Kari when we were pre-gaming before the show, and if you miss him, put on his MP3, his CD, his record.
Watch Labyrinth.
And listen to him. His music did not get erased. That's all you knew him by. You didn't go have coffee with him.
That would be a phenomenal trick, though. If when someone dies, everything they were in vanishes.
Back to the Future. That's what it should happen. Then you'd be sad. Because
I'm going to miss him so much would be a legit statement.
I wanted to listen to China Girl one more time. God damn it.
Now I can't.
Then I'm sad. What are you sad about?
Well, Netflix will release statistics about that. Like, how many people watch Labyrinth today compared to, like, the average Monday?
There's a
in
party
January?
tonight at Old Miami. Bowie all night.
Oh, dude, in every station, the show's here. I was tuning in, and then they were playing Bowie's. And
his record's going to go gold this week, or whatever it's going to go.
iTunes Gold, whatever.
Right.
Everyone's actually most sad because they're not going to see him in Labyrinth 2 when, the Goblin...
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, the Goblin King's obviously going to have his own little Jim Henson wheelchair going up and down the ramps.
No, but that was the thing, like, Robin Williams died. I'm so sad. I'm like, you can still put on Mrs. Doubtfire. It didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, Live at the Met still works. I have the DVD.
Morgan Mindy box sets just came out. Like, there he is. That's how you ever knew him. Like, how can you... Well, I wanted to know what else he would have done. I'm like, you're being selfish. Like,
what if what he would have done would have sucked?
Right.
Yeah. Another 1 hour.
Well, Chris Farley did that shit last movie.
Because we need another 1 hour photo,
Oh, of course we do.
Right. Oh, my God. Literally, like, 9 this morning, I'm sending these guys emails, Dave and Nuri, in all caps. Like,
I literally want to kill everyone on my Facebook feed.
Seriously.
When I reply back, I'm like, David salty as F thismorning.com. Good morning, bitches.
But then the problem is, I knew better than to just leave it on, but I left it on all day, and I had to correct everyone. Like, I couldn't just let it go. I had to be that voice of reason.
People are wrong on the internet today.
I know. I have to tell them.
My spidey sense is going off. Someone's wrong on the internet.
I can't just let it go like a normal asshole. I have to sit there, wrong.
So getting back to the lottery for just a sec, because if you suddenly find yourself with $200 million at your disposal, you apparently they're selling the Playboy Mansion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You can buy the Playboy Mansion for $200 million.
The grotto, all of it?
All of it, including Hef.
Hef, yeah.
Because Hef's not moving.
Do I get to buy Hef as well?
Apparently, it's in the conditions of sale that Hef stays there until he dies.
Do you get to pick what room he stays in?
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like at first I was like, wow, so you're blowing $200 million on a house, and then the old guy's still gonna live there. But then I'm like, but it's Hef. Like I want it in the conditions of sale that if he's gonna stay there, then every day he has to tell me one story.
Well, what about do his
Uncle Hef?
Do his wives stay there too? And do you have access to the wives? Like, how does that work?
That's what I want. I want Uncle Hef tell me a goodnight
story.
What
does Pamela Anderson boobies really feel like
before and after?
Exactly. And how about 1996?
You just get to walk in there and point to a stain, and he has to tell you the story.
We walk around with a blacklight, Uncle Hef.
When you come to my parties, though, like if I threw like a
but you got to think about how cool that is that you can sell your house and still live in it.
Because you're a Hef.
That has to be one of the coolest
He's
things
like reverse
ever.
mortgaging himself.
Could anybody else sell their house and still live in it?
Where's the Wilford Brimley infomercial for the Hef reverse mortgage.com?
They're appraising the house at something like $40 million, but they're only saying it's worth about $60 million because it's the Playboy Mansion. Yet he's still saying you got to buy it for $200 million.
Because he's staying in there. Because I'm staying in there, I'm going to raise the value another.
See, and I'm not
going to $160 million.
Hang on, it'd be great.
But see, he doesn't technically own it. Playboy Enterprises, the company in Chicago, owns it.
Well, what are they doing anymore? I mean, porn has gone, the internet and video.
They're going out of business.
They're trying to be more Maxim-ish.
Yeah. No, you know who's going to buy the damn house? The Minecraft guy, so he can stop Jay-Z from buying it. Just to piss him off again.
No. VH1's going to buy it just to take some old 80s rocker and just have reality shows about it.
Over and over again.
Playboy Mansion,
Brilliant.
So, I mean, we got to talk tech. Do we talk tech on this show? It's an IT show.
We do.
CES is this week, and I'm sad that I'm not there because I used to go to the show.
I went once.
And for as crazy it is,
I'm not sad I'm not there.
I was 17 years old, and I went next door to the adult section, and they totally didn't card me.
Dude, that was always the best. So you've got, the computer trade show going on in this hall, and then they always scheduled it on purpose. The AVN Awards were in that hall,
which I
right
went
next
to.
door. So you'd see, guys like Bob They were like, the sales guys, ties, the whole night. Oh, yeah, John, have, your people call my people, $1 million deal? Yeah, absolutely, we'll make that. You'd see the same guy, like, 4 minutes later with his tie wrapped around his head like a kamikaze pilot, trying to chat up some porn queen. I mean, that was the interesting dynamic of that.
I had customers there, maybe 07-ish, build me business cards and a bio, and like basically as a talent acquisition scout with like a fictional company, like, hey, if you ever want to go to the AVN Awards, you're in the industry, so here's your business cards, and we built you a little website. And I'm like, you did this for me? Oh my God.
So one of the things coming out of CES, which I got to be honest, I really can't wrap my head around, no pun intended. But so, I mean, LG's got, they're really still trying to primp out these flexible screens.
They finally look legit.
Well, I still don't see me wanting one in my house.
But a house, yes. But think about, like, what if you wrapped it around your arm and all of a sudden you've got some kind of touchscreen controller on your arm?
Yeah, it's the application. It's not about setting it up on your desk.
Well,
dude.
but even they're saying it's still years and years and years away from commercial viability, because every time you bend it, pixels die. Every time that was like the headline was outstanding, but then you actually read the story and you're like, oh, wah wah.
Now the thing, what I want that is ready. And you're going to – I'm an idiot. My wife already said I'm an idiot. I'm like, babe, we're getting a new fridge. Time's come.
You're going to get the $5,000
Samsung
fridge.
With the cameras on the inside.
But think about it.
Because I always wanted to know, when you were a kid and you were like, the kitchen of the future, right? And there was a little gremlin that lived in there. So when you who shut the light off? And when, they always try to open it and see the little gremlin coming out and shut the light off.
The penguins in the icebox.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Oh, and now there's 3 cameras inside. So if you're at Meijer – and you're like, shit, do I have any orange juice in there? You could actually go on your app and look in your fridge and go, yes, I have orange juice, and I have to buy it.
What's crazy, too, is like they've got a screen on the front so your kids can actually draw paintings right on a touch screen on the front. They've got recipes. They've got grocery lists all on a screen. And then if it is a screen, is it possible to really actually Netflix and chill?
Nice.
But then, you can tie into social so you can find out if your favorite music artist passed away today.
Oh, God. Totally. Yeah.
I heard he won Bowie won $1.2 billion and was giving like millions to all the poor people. So
that's a total, like, we brought that thing around full circle.
If you shared the Facebook post, everything. Yeah.
I kind of speed read Facebook today. I hope I got the gist.
Right.
Yeah, you share this post. He's giving away a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then also, I guess, on the tech front, a moment of silence. We are mere hours away.
Oh, no.
From the death of something that, let's be
happy about,
has needed to die for a long, long time. Support for Internet Explorer 8, 9, and 10.
It's kind of like finding...
Ends at midnight.
It's kind of like finding out, hey, George Burns died. Like, didn't he die 15 years ago?
He was still alive. Who still has IE8?
Nipsey Russell died. Like, I thought he died in the 80s. Like, what?
I think he's still in the Playboy Mansion.
Right.
Yeah, I thought he died after Wildcats.
How come no one was sad that Schneider died from one day at a time, for crying out loud? Like, that's something to be sad about. David Bowie, Schneider. Like, come on. Like,
sad that you ever remember Schneider.
We still have to use IE at freaking work. Can you believe that? They let us download Chrome. Dude, like, we're beholden to it. Like, I bet you know how many corporations are stuck on it?
Well, so many of Cisco's contact center products still require old versions of IE.
I can't use to have our apps on Chrome.
It's crazy.
That's why I got to keep IE open, just so I can use some of the internal apps. It sucks.
All on safe mode too. So if you use a newer version, it's got to be safe mode.
Yeah.
So good news on the Netflix front. I'm not gonna lie. We've joked about this show forever. We've loved the show forever. Apparently, Netflix is bringing back Voltron.
Like, no, hold on, cartoon.
Not live action. They're bringing back cartoon.
I wanted live action.
How do you have a live action?
How do you have live action Transformers? You can make it happen.
Yeah, not on a Netflix show, maybe in a movie, but
you can do anything. Walking Dead can do it.
That's $3 million an episode, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You can get some college coders to make me some CGI lions heads turned into arms. I'm not gonna lie. We were on what was it? Ninja Starship last night, talking about. Those guys, those kids, those little youngsters, those 30-year-olds.
Those kids today.
Didn't know what Johnny Sacco or Ultraman was. And I'm like, does the old man got to drop some knowledge of what used to be good?
Back in my day.
Yeah. There used to be a guy in the suit. There was no CGI. You sons of bitches.
Go look at the old Godzilla movies. The little dude in the rubber suit that used to suffocate and almost die every time they filmed the movie.
Oh, I tell you what.
So the one, again, from a social media front, I thought this was hilarious, and I loved mocking these people because they took to social media to cry foul. One would assume, like Airbnb. Are you familiar with the concept? You know, you rent your house out, there's an app, and people can like rent a room in your place or rent your place out. These people were somehow surprised that they rented their house out on New Year's Eve to a total stranger, and then were mortified when a party happened.
The girl was like 17 too, right?
Yeah.
She was definitely underage.
Oh, yeah. And so they rented their house out over Airbnb on New Year's Eve to complete strangers, to a 17-year-old girl. And apparently the neighbors came over and realized something was wrong and called the cops. And the cops showed up a couple times and apparently just told them to keep it down because they didn't know they had rented the house. They thought they were the people that lived there. And so I believe my favorite quote from the article was the path of destruction, demolition, and mayonnaise that the owners found when they returned. Apparently they had like just condiments everywhere, just like ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise all over the wall, destroyed the place, broke the furniture, and they took to social. And I guess an Airbnb has a pretty solid policy about, you know, if anything bad happens when, you know, your house is rented underneath it, they've got like a couple of $1 million policy, and they'll cover you when life's good.
Yeah, totally.
So there was really no need for them to go to social media other than to just try to gain sympathy. But I mean, it's. You rented your house to a total stranger on New Year's Eve.
You got weird crap going on with Airbnb, like people putting Nest cams in the houses, and you're like, it's kind of weird, man. The whole aspect of it.
We knew this was mayo too.
They said mayonnaise, yeah.
That's their story. They're sticking to it.
If they had one of those
not Miracle Whip either. Like,
okay,
straight up mayonnaise.
Real
yeah.
Okay, if they had one of those new fridges, these homeowners could have known that the mayonnaise was disappearing out of it. Yeah.
See, there's actually two quotes.
A red flag.
My two favorite quotes were: "There were puddles of alcohol, urine, broken glass, toilets plugged with condoms, and this is a direct quote: chicken meat in my shoes." And then the second quote was, "We came home and wished the house had been burned to ashes."
Yeah.
They would have literally been happy with their house being burned out.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, let's rent the house out to a bunch of kids. Yeah. What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, what was happening at that party? I'm wondering.
Apparently Project X was going on at that party.
Oh, he's like, how do I get invited to that shit? Seriously.
Yeah, I'm like, what's party 2? What's 2017?
So the mind-blown quote of the week.
Mustard.
We always talk about how we're getting old. Where Ralph Macchio today is older than Mr. Miyagi. How Will Smith today is older than Uncle Phil.
Yep.
Right? And then I just got mind-blown once more that Mark Hamill is 64 years old and Alec Guinness in episode 4 was 63.
Yep.
And son of a bitch.
That's right. Luke Skywalker, hide-and-seek champion, 1983 to 2015.
Yeah.
Now he is the master.
And he's older than Alec Guinness was. But I don't like it. I'm just telling you right now.
Bob, we're getting old.
We are old. We're not getting old.
It's better than the alternative.
Getting young? I don't know what the hell is happening.
Dying and not getting any older.
No.
So, hey, are you going to be running out anytime soon to the Rugby Grill in Birmingham to scarf down this $55 hamburger that they have?
I was talking to my friend from Vegas, and I go, you know, he goes, that's normal in Vegas. I go, yeah, but it's Vegas. And I go, listen, I went to the London Chop downtown with my wife for like a special occasion. They had an Australian Wagyu perfectly cooked steak with a 3-course meal. And I think it was $46.
Yeah.
I go, burger my ass. Shove that. Like, no. You don't even get a salad? Like, what are you going to give me? House chips or fries with that for $55? Like, seriously, when you can get like a nice 16-ounce Wagyu steak, go to Lely's for $50, get a 5-course meal with the best. They're doing it. They got in the paper, and there's going to be ass. And what was it, Nuri? You said the first.
I got so mad. I read the free article, and it says the first one to purchase was a food blogger by the name of Grace D, who gave it a great review on Yelp. My God damn it, you are not a food reviewer. You are not a food blogger if you write on Yelp.
Welcome to South Park.
Can I have the Yelp special, please?
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the Yelper special.
This mayonnaise has a slight tang to it. It's the Yelper special.
My dad made it special for you.
So great job, Grace D. 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. 5-star would eat $55 burger again.
oh, it's so good. The juices
dripping down my chin.
Like I remember going to Cheeseburger in Paradise, what are the stupid Jimmy Buffet restaurant, and they had a Colby beef burger for like $15, and I go, I had Colby beef in Tokyo for like $80 a plate, and I go, how the hell is this Colby? And I ordered it, and it was like, it tasted like Fuddruckers burger. It's like, but it was $15.
Was it made from Kobe Bryant? Was that?
I hope to God not.
Did it come with margarita?
No, you had to buy that extra. It's awful.
It was a mixture of the beef. It was like 1% Kobe beef, 99% chicken meat found in your shoes.
Filler, yeah. Chicken nugget filler. I love it. But hey, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with Kari Frazier from DetroitisDifferent.com. This is the IT in the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Snyder from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland, Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com. This is a previously recorded episode of the IT in the D show.
Welcome back, segment 2, episode 126. We are live at Podcast Detroit. This is the IT in the D show. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Do us a favor, mark your calendars. Thursday, the 21st, that's 10 days from today, the 11th, we're going to be at the Firebird Tavern for our kickoff event of 2016. One of our famous socials. No agenda, no speakers, no cover charge. No
infamous.
No.
It's bigger than famous.
Infamous. No multi-level marketing buttholes. Just good, clean networking with IT folks in town. Pay your own tab. All that good stuff.
Yeah. What can it hurt?
Bob will be at the. I'll be at the. I almost talked about myself in the third person. I'll be at the back corner bar stools, just so Dave will yell at me.
Because why change things for the new year?
Exactly. Hey, and if you didn't hear us already or read about it, we are we're trying to destroy the training industry, and we're trying to help out some folks at the same time. Do us a favor, go to ITintheD.com/learn, the Learn tab on our homepage, and we have teamed up with Career Academy, and we're basically giving you full access to 1,100 training courses, 30 college credits, and 500 PDUs, professional development units, all in IT. Get your CCIE, your CISSP, CCNA, all your Cisco, Microsoft, CompTIA.
EIEIO, whatever.
Right. Old McDonald had a CCNA.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. All you can eat for $29 a year, whether or not you get one cert or 10.
Dude, and people are jumping on it.
It's $29.
I can't tell you how many. And this is the part that makes me laugh. Folks, look, just real talk for just a second. If you hit me up or hit like the Facebook page up with a message going, well, is there this kind of cert there? Is there that kind of cert there? So help me God, you're going to get like the most sarcastic, venomous reply in the world because it's $29 a year. And it even says right on it, there are 1,100 plus certifications. Courses, and all in there. No, I don't have them all memorized. No, I don't know what the list is.
And the list is freaking public. You can go to their damn website and click the damn button, and the damn button will show you everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fiery tonight. Sorry.
That was great. For 10 years, Dave and I have had to put with emails going, where's the event tonight?
Screenshot of the website, big MS Paint, big giant arrows.
We use the arrows at work to shame each other so badly. Red arrows and paint. Oh, God,
Dave,
I love it.
I might be tempted just to go on Facebook and ask you a question just to see what kind of response you provide.
Depends on the question. If it's a legit question.
I'm going to go research IT certification courses and then ask you about something that seems like it would be obscure just so that I can get a sarcastic response from you.
I think it is just like the children. They all, like, all the members of our group know that if you ask Dave a stupid question, it gets them angry. It's kind of like your 4-year-old like pushing daddy's buttons. Like, they know. Like, you know what'd be funny? You do it this time, Jim. ITintheD, where's the event tonight?
Entirely possible.
But hey, Michelle,
Yeah?
we appreciate you coming back again. This is Michelle Gilbert. She's the VP of Public Relations for Comcast. You are the lucky owner of that ball.
Because I relate to the public.
You are. No, you're awesome. We had you on before. We had a great conversation, and you had a bunch of. I said, anytime you got a compelling event, you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you.
And so we were talking before the show, and I go, we got to hit one elephant in the room, and
Hit it, baby.
the press loves to jump on like the Walmarts and the Comcast of the world because they're easy targets,
right?
Even though they're the ones doing the most, but the data cap.
Right.
That's the big thing everybody's up in arms about. Going, well, I've been all you can eating this my whole life, and now you're capping me. What gives Comcast?
Okay, so it isn't a cap because nobody is saying that you can only use this much data. It's what we call usage-based billing, and you pay for what you use.
Kind of like water and electricity.
Yep, kind of like the wireless industry too.
Sure,
and
they changed.
Let's go back 10 or 15 years when, we all were using internet at dial-up speeds. The business has changed dramatically. I don't think anyone could have imagined how we would be using the internet. Here we are.
Video turned it upside down.
2015, absolutely. And we see on our own network 30 to 40% growth over our network every single year. That takes investments. So right now what we're doing is we're piloting this usage-based billing. What we find is that it's about 10% of our customers are using about 50% of the data.
That's insane.
So what's crazy
it's kind of like Golden Corral. Their top 10% of their eaters eat 50% of their food.
Right. So what's crazy is that I can understand the 10%.
Dave's the guilty one over here.
Yeah. And you are.
No, I'm not.
But so 10% of the people, I can understand why they would be upset. But everyone else is upset, and they're not even using. They wouldn't even come close to
offended for the sake of being offended.
Right.
Well, I mean, what if I was thinking about cutting the cord? Right? If I wanted to stop video, the statistics about how much Netflix uses. It uses 3 gigs of data per hour for high definition, 7 gigs of hour for ultra high definition. If I wanted to completely cut the cord, am I going to risk running over my data usage plan?
Okay, so now you're asking me a math question. I
was told there would be no math.
I did not pass on the Facebook, but math is not my thing. But here's the thing. The way the pilot is working is that if you do in fact go over that 300 gig, you then pay, and it's not happening in Michigan, so I'm not super familiar with the prices, but you pay a certain amount for your next 50 gig. So the amount of data that you're using and you're consuming, again, we go back to why should Bob, who's using 1/10 of what you're using, pay the same amount? Because at the end of the day, the service providers have to continue to invest to stay ahead of the growth. 30 to 40% a year.
And that all seems logical, but so from...
People hate change.
Well, not only that, but I mean just from a typical, not in the industry... just looking at it from an outside perspective kind of point of view, this looks like a reaction to the cord cutters. That, we're not going to be making our money off of cable boxes. We're not going to be making money off your monthly cable subscription. We're going to be making but you still need our internet pipe in order to get to your Hulu, your Netflix, your everything else.
Hulu, which is owned by Comcast.
Well, yeah, so, so we're still going to find a way to get you. I mean, that's how that looks. Which is why you're in PR, because you can make it now look that way.
So here's what I would say to you. Successful businesses have to evolve as their business changes. And it's no different than any other industry that has to make certain decisions and try new things to ensure that they can continue to, 1, be profitable for their shareholders, and 2, meet the needs of their customers by continuing to invest.
See, this is where Reddit just doesn't understand life, Bob.
Well, see, I don't know. They released a survey earlier this year that analyzed the cost of broadband and the cost it takes to get broadband to people. And it said that broadband is a 97% margin utility.
No,
so that means,
no, I did nerd.
Is that wrong?
Insanely wrong.
They said
that's talking. Hold on. That's after you dug and trenched and put CPU in the home, put CPU, whatever you're putting at the whether it's a VRAD at the curb, that's the building the data center, then it's a 97%. But the cost to turn a house up, when I was installing fiber to the home in the infancy of it, you would see profit at month 18 if you were lucky. This isn't like 90. That's such a garbage. I saw that.
So
And I got so angry about that because once the water's flowing, the data's flowing. Yeah, then it's
$2 a month is what it costs to get data to your house.
I don't know. You probably know better than I do.
So, but then after 18 months, do my costs go down?
No. Well, they got it's an investment. I don't.
They have to make their money back for doing that in the first place.
97% is pretty good margin. I mean, I think there's
that's
probably
after.
Right.
That's way
out. Of course,
after,
you're building CPE, you're building poles, you're building things
We're
like that.
And they're upgrading.
We're upgrading. We upgrade every single year. We increase the speeds for our customers at no additional charge. I mean,
Well,
we've done that for
Dave
the
told me you were
past
doing
13
UHD,
years.
and I'm like, I don't get UHD at home right now. I want it.
It's
UHD?
Oh, dude, it's
ultra high def.
Dude, it's crazy. I go up above 1,000, and it's like watching people living inside my television. Like it's seriously wrong.
Well, that's what we're investing in. We got to feed those people living in your television.
Like I feel like crimes are actually happening inside my television on Law and Order. Like I'm afraid to watch porn. I think that would be grounds for my wife to file for divorce because I'm cheating on her.
You have mayonnaise on the walls.
I mean, it is. I mean, I give them all the credit in the world. The picture is ridiculous.
Well, thank you. I'm responsible for everything you're happy with.
Everything good.
Right. Yeah. So you were talking, there's a ton of new investment going on downtown? That's where you guys are starting.
There's a ton of new investment going on in general, but specifically downtown. I mean, there's a lot of excitement with a lot of people moving downtown, a lot of businesses going downtown. So there's been a lot of things that we've been doing. In February.
There's something else going on with high-speed internet downtown that's not named Rocket Fiber?
Yeah, believe it or not.
But also involves someone named Gilbert.
No relation. So what we are going to be doing in the first quarter of this year is we are going to be going through a process transitioning to MPEG-4.
Okay.
Which I think you guys are all familiar with what MPEG-4 is. What that's ultimately going to set us up to do is to roll out a service that is going to allow us to deliver 1 gig speeds on our existing network. And we're starting in Detroit. It will happen sometime in 2016. I don't have an exact time frame because there's a lot of steps that have to take place before this can happen, but then we'll continue to roll it out across our Michigan market. The really cool thing about what is called DOCSIS 3.1, I'm not sure what marketing genius came up with that, but what's really cool about it is we're not going to have to dig trenches and build out to every single home. It's already there, and it's going to provide the gig speeds, not necessarily what people need today, because we were talking about this earlier to do, or as well. 1 gig is a very sexy term right now. Very, very few people have need for 1 gig at their home.
I'm sitting in between two of them, but other than that,
well, no. I mean, that's honestly, that's.
But he's not using 1 gig. We talked
we
about
were joking
this.
about that, and
he's a heavy user.
I can get 2 gigs at my house through Comcast. Actually, it's a large acquisition fee to get that going because it's a special service. It's not that DOCSIS 3.1 over the existing copper. But I'm like, I brag to my neighbors. I'm like, so what's your net downstream speed? Oh, I got the 150. That's pretty cool, right? I'm like, not to my 2 gigs, bitches.
Well, but that's like, honestly, that's the thing with the caps, talking about it, it's not, it's like, well, what do you mean? Why don't I have a gig to my, really, like, do you even really understand what that means? And like what, like really, you would never use it.
It's become a sexy buzz term, and people don't understand what it means. And even if you do have a gig, you have to have the equipment in your house to support a gig.
Right. Are you running gig wireless? Do you gig switch ports?
Well,
so you put 99% of the people in the world in a Lamborghini, they're going to crash it in 4 seconds.
Well, and let's talk about wireless, because the vast majority of how we use our internet at home is not connected to the wire. It's over Wi-Fi, so you gotta, that's a whole new playing field.
It's true.
And so you gotta have that equipment that's going to be able to.
And even if you have NMIMO, you're not pushing a gig.
No.
Right? No. Well, babe, if you're listening, looks like I'm buying another router. Time for upgrades.
I thought I had a good wireless network, and then I tried to copy files from my machine to my wife's machine. And I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be a gig. No.
So do you say you're opening up? There's a storefront going downtown?
So we're opening a brand new storefront right in Midtown. It's at Woodward and Selden. It'll be open sometime in February.
What happens at a Comcast store? Is that like a place to go to like try out products or pay your bill? Or why would I, as a consumer, go into a Comcast store?
That's a great question because a lot of people have that thought process like, oh, it's like being at the DMV, you're standing in line with your cable box, waiting to return it. But if you think about technology in our home and how it's changed, it's a lot more complex than it ever was before. And so what this new Xfinity store does is it gives people the opportunity to get up close and personal and to touch and feel and play with the technology and really see what they're buying and what they're getting. So we've got this huge comfy couch. I know where you guys are going. You're like, next ITintheD show is at the Comcast.
Dude, I would totally do that. I would bring the beer, the pretzels.
But we've got a big couch. We've got this huge screen TV. We encourage people to come in, get comfortable, sit down. We've got live iPads where people can play with their apps. We talked about this last time. A lot of people don't even realize the value adds that people can get from their services because they can take their TV wherever they go on their iPad, through the app that their provider offers or the free Wi-Fi hotspots. We've got
last time you were in, you clued me into the whole My Account app, and can I find an issue? And I've used that thing 5-6 times every day.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yay! So guess what? We're making an upgrade to that app. It's going to come out pretty soon. It's called Where's My Tech? And so it's kind of Uber-like. So if you are at home and you're waiting for your tech, and by the way,
so money.
Not a 4-hour window, it's a 2-hour window, but say you need to run up to the drugstore to get something, you can actually get alerted. Your tech is on his or her way. Here's a picture so you know who to expect.
Dude, that's brilliant.
Because it's always, what's your window, 8 to 12? When's he showing up?
No,
12:15?
it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours. And,
I'm just being funny.
And if our tech is late, you get an automatic $20 credit to your
Dude, that's
bill.
awesome. And then plus, just think about it. It's like, yeah, hi, I'm here with your cable company.
Right. It's
so
a safety
you know
issue,
who's
too.
coming.
So now you know
that's
who's coming.
So great.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No doubt. Well, no, it can't be like when you were talking about the storefront. I'm thinking about the commercials, and I know you're not into the media, but like they go, test this one out. They go, that's really slow. Now try ours. They go, wow, that's fast. And it's like, I know every techie friend I know is like pounding their head.
My head explodes every time I see one of those commercials.
But it's like the Samsung TV commercials, right? And you're watching, they go, wow, that picture is way better on that TV than mine. And you're watching it on
your TV.
Let's see, I was hearing Michelle talk about her store, and I was wondering, like, are you open on Super Bowl Sunday? Because
yeah, right.
So I drag down the remote gear, a couple cases of beer, and hang out on the big comfy couch.
I know you can make this happen.
Our stores are not open on Sundays, and based on when the store isn't Super Bowl Sunday the first weekend in February.
Yep.
I don't think our store is opening to the second weekend. That might be on purpose. Maybe we'll have our own
entirely
party.
possible.
I don't know, but
I just hope people go there for like normal reasons, not going like to make it like a sounding board. Like I hate you.
You know what? Our customers come into our stores, they come to pay bills, they come to return equipment, but they come to upgrade too or to try out new service. So like we talked about last time, we're very committed to changing that customer experience. And if they've got a gripe and they want to come in because they need to be heard, then they're welcome.
No, I think that app thing's a huge step because we were talking about that for the auto industry. Like, we all bought automatics to plug in the diagnostics port.
Right.
Like, well, why don't the autos have that experience themselves? Like, when you get that much of a touch of an experience, it makes your whole outlook of everything. Like, if you're sitting on hold for God knows how long on a phone, you're like, God, and you got to go on hold with someone else. And you're like, God, I hate you.
Oh, yeah, and here's my account number again. And here's my address again.
Yep.
And here's
it just ruins the experience. So if you can streamline that and make it user-friendly, I mean, it doesn't take much to make people happy.
And by the way, the whole thing with waiting on hold, regardless of whether you have an app, that still needs to be fixed, and we are fixing it. But to make it easier in the meantime, we've got this great app where you can schedule the time that someone calls you, and that's what's really cool.
And I think last time we talked, you said you were hiring several thousand domestic customer service representatives. Was that correct?
Yep, and 400 people right here in Michigan.
Dude, that's awesome.
Wow. So the 400 jobs in Michigan are call center jobs. We've got call centers.
Is that a new call center you're opening here in Michigan, or is that an existing?
No, we have 3 existing call centers:
Wow.
Ann Arbor, Sterling Heights, and Plymouth.
Sterling Heights is huge. It was an old CarMax facility.
It's at the corner of
16-inch Sheener Mount or Van Dyke.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we're hiring more techs, the people that are coming to your house to install, to troubleshoot, to fix things. So
That's cool.
lots of good jobs. And here's something that's also exciting. We're going to be launching outdoor Wi-Fi hotspots in the city.
Ooh.
So first quarter. What?
Very much needed.
Yep. So
You're talking like in public area,
public
Campus
areas.
Martius-ish,
kind of like I can't guarantee that it's going to be there, although I would be surprised if it wasn't. But our engineers are working through that stuff right now to try and figure out the build and how we make that happen.
That's a really highly technical build from like a wireless perspective. So that's really cool.
Well, a lot of munis have tried and failed at it.
Right.
Well, I try to think like how many times I'm traveling and don't see an Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot. I mean, they're everywhere, so it's kind of great. I think it's an added benefit of being a Comcast.
Oh yeah,
we have I think 10 million across the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used it Saturday night at XI because they were having problems with the Imperial House's router. I hooked right into the Xfinity. I did the Xfinity Wi-Fi, and away we went. We were broadcasting live. Yeah,
we were doing live podcasting from the Xfinity Open Hotspot. That's funny.
That's
it's
cool.
not funny. It's great.
Funny crickets.
Right, exactly.
Crickets.wave.
We could have given you a courtesy laugh. You're right. It's
funny.
A sympathy chuckle.
So what else can I tell you? We're opening a business office, too, in the city. So it's going to be, ironically, because space is at such a premium in Midtown, we couldn't get space, the store and the business office, back to back. So they're kind of separated by, I think, a bank, but that's okay. We're in the same area, so we're definitely investing in the city.
Walking distance from a brewery and a couple good restaurants. So
I think so, yeah. And that was,
never a bad
I'm
location.
Sure, key in how we chose the location.
Right.
So I'll get you guys all the date for the grand opening, and
cool.
Hopefully you'll
We'd love
come
to go.
to our VIP event. So that would be
We're
awesome.
VIPs. Oh. Maybe not. I don't know.
Can it be on Super Bowl Sunday at your demo screen?
Yeah, exactly. Michelle, always a pleasure having you out here.
It's fun to be out
like I
here
said,
with
you
you
have
guys.
carte blanche on the show. Anytime you have like stuff going on or what,
Great. What are you doing next week? Just kidding. Was that my crazy laugh?
Next week is going to be Bob's favorite episode ever.
What?
Ashley Gold.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Actually,
I'll be good.
Yeah, actually, Michelle, it is always a pleasure to have you out here. It's really
Thank
cool to
you.
hear the cool stuff Comcast is doing.
Thanks.
That's not something that Reddit focuses on, is the cool stuff Comcast is doing.
Right.
So it's nice to have a reminder that there's good stuff going on. So
Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
we're
Are you
really
still doing the
trying
program
hard.
for the kids as well?
Internet Essentials,
Yeah.
And you know what? It was after I was on last year, but last fall we made some significant upgrades to that program. We increased the speeds. We doubled them from 5 megabits per second to 10.
Okay.
We're also offering free Wi-Fi routers to all Internet Essentials customers, so that basically is allowing more
Nice.
people in the home to get online.
So it's internetessentials.net, am I correct? And if not, look up
it's
Comcast Internet.
.com.
Regardless, look up Internet
Yeah.
Essentials Comcast.
Yeah.
It's $10 a month if you're on the
Right.
free lunch program.
Right.
So if you're like a PTA president or someone from a local community,
Yep.
I think
InternetEssentials.com.
.com. Okay.
It is .com. Yep.
But they're giving, I think, PCs for sub $100.
I think it's $140.
Yep.
150.
Yeah, it's
And free training.
Yeah, anytime you can help out, that's a big problem is getting people access, right? And if you're, it's a great thing to give back to the community. I'm a huge fan of that program.
Thank you. Well, it's an important program, and we're 5 years in. It's our strongest philanthropic focus. So
Good.
yeah.
Well, Michelle, always a pleasure having you on. Thanks for hanging out with us in our new digs. Find you at Comcast and on Twitter if anyone wants to hit you up. Or,
on Twitter, Comcast MI for Comcast Michigan.
Do you answer them personally?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Michelle at Comcast.
We're a robust team of two that handles all of the issues, and we do our best to get back to people as quickly as possible. But sometimes people get cranky because it's only a little part of my job, and
People
but
get
Twitter's
cranky on
immediate.
Twitter. I'm tweeting you hi right now.
Right.
Hate everything about those people.
So hey, this time we're gonna. I messed up last time. This time we're gonna be back with Kari Fraser from Detroit's Different.
That's your story. You're sticking to it.
Yes, I totally missed. This is the ITintheD show, and we'll be right back.
ITintheD. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
Welcome back, segment 3, episode 126. This is the ITintheD show live from Podcast Detroit here in Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, here with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. We have a bunch of stuff on there to read. If you have not checked out our blogs, there's everything from Don't Be That Guy to How Not to Suck At to Suck Less At, things like job interviewing, looking for a job.
Well, you know what? And honestly, one of the ones that bubbled up today, and it's a series we have to get back to, the 5 career lessons you probably missed from Scarface.
That was phenomenal.
Bubbled back up today, and we did Scarface, and we did Caddyshack. We did The Breakfast Club. We got to get back to those.
No, I know. There's a few that I was thinking about. Crap, we haven't wrote in a while.
Yeah.
But there's tons of, I think, 300-400 blogs that we've written over the years. Probably write 5 books out of it, but who wants a book these days?
Exactly. And hey, if you're listening and you're not aware, run out to the store immediately. Just make sure you bring our app with you. Get the milk, bread, and toilet paper. It is snowing.
Time to get the bread and milk.
Oh, yeah, time to get the bread and milk.
So, Kari.
Yes.
DetroitisDifferent.com.
Yep.
Appearance number 2 on the ITintheD show.
Exactly. Going around for round 2. I need in on that Scarface discussion. I was just talking to my friend that's going down to he's going down to Cuba, as they say. And I was like, you gonna be like chilling, drinking liquor, and then like flicking citrus, because that's like one of my favorite scenes when he sits and talks to Sosa. And then he's just sitting down talking to him, and then they throw him out the helicopter, and he's like flicking citrus.
Yeah, flicking citrus. It's like I see some guy holding a tangerine and being like.
What was some of the career lessons? I don't remember I know it was you don't want to be.
So it was always stay true to yourself.
Yeah, but
regardless of the consequence.
Right.
And the big lesson was that you don't want to be Tony Montana. You want to be Sosa.
You want to be Sosa? What about the lesson about...
That's the lesson that everybody thinks they want to be Tony Montana, but nah. Sosa was the man that let Tony do his thing until he got a little too big for his britches, and then bye-bye.
And then also, you probably should not try to sleep with your boss's wife.
See, and that was your best friend and your friend's brother, or your friend's sister,
friend's brother,
friend's sister.
That was a Cinemax version of Scarface. I think.
Yeah.
You say hello to my little friend.
Exactly.
Carlito's back way.
It's the circumcision Scarface.
So for those that didn't listen to you last time on the show, give us a breakdown of DetroitisDifferent.com and what you're doing.
All right. Well, Detroit is Different is just like a home to talk about the culture of Detroit. I think that is so unique, and it's no other explanation I can say. Detroit is different.
Well, we're talking, we were talking earlier before the show, and he said, like we're talking about our friend Jeremiah from Daily Detroit, and I said, the one thing I like about what he does is he's not writing about the murders and the ruin porn and like all the stuff that you're seeing on Channel 7 News and
And if you watch the news here, you think that it's like nothing but despair and dim and dark and doom, but it's a lot of cool stuff going on.
They said they do it for ratings, but who the hell's watching that going, yes,
that's
murder.
What I always say.
If it bleeds, it leads, man.
Yeah,
it goes, Don Henley, what was it, 85, Dirty Laundry?
But that's what they say, but it's
I think that's
nowadays, it's a lot of, you all have a hell of a following. And you all aren't talking about who's getting shot or what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's kind of like Anchorman 2, man. I want to see the puppy in the grass for a half an hour. You know, I don't want to see all this crap about people getting robbed at gas stations. I could care less, you know? Give me the sports scores and the puppy in the grass. You know, I'm good. That's why the news is shit now, because of people like me.
Man, I know that, I think a lot of people tune out. So the whole idea with Detroit is Different is to just tell some of these stories of how people get started and are doing different things, like featuring you guys. And I look to bring you all into the family because the idea of where I want to take it now is to Detroit is Different TV. I want to do a lot more on YouTube, do a whole lot on Facebook, and just really embrace this whole movement of creating content that's video based, but it's short and it can tell more of these stories and get more personalities.
Well, you're covering business, you're covering art, you're covering music, you're covering food, you're covering the scene.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of like when I go on Reddit all the time, the Detroit subreddit, and everybody goes, "Hey, I'm coming to Detroit this weekend. What do I do?"
And that's exactly what I want it to be like.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they're going on, and everybody goes, "Well, just look on the right side," and everybody says the same crap. Go to Green Dot Stables and go, you know, and it's becoming cliche now. You know?
And it's so many, like, you talk about the restaurant culture. One of the things, Dine and Drink Detroit, we're looking to possibly partner and do a tour of some different restaurants and bring some bands there, because there are so many restaurants that have existed, and then there are a lot of new ones popping up and different things featuring different types of food. And as he said, a $55 burger. I want to get the backstory on something like that.
Like you look at Green Dot Stables, you put that in Mount Clemens,
and
it's a bowling alley dive bar.
If it dies, it dies.
Yeah, and you put it in Corktown, it's like, oh my god, it's amazing. And it just, that's the one thing, I don't know if you can expound on that or if you even know, like, I don't even know why that's a thing.
I think the idea of that place, the cool thing I like about it is, you know, it's a feel, it's a flair, and then it's all sliders. So, the price point, but at the same time, you're probably going to wait an hour to get a seat in there. But then you can go down the street, and there's just as many other restaurants. So you can go around to, Gold Cash Gold. You can try to get a plate over at Slows. You can go across the street and get a burger. I mean, it's a lot of different places in and around that area, but even further in Midtown, you still have a lot of active scene in Eastern Market. So it's so many options.
Eastern Market's growing now. Well, you know what the thing we always talked about, and I travel all over the country, is I wanted it to be where I can park here, and I can go, like, even Cleveland. You used to be able to, but it kind of broke up a little bit. I want to go to the Flats.
Yeah.
Right? Or I just wish they would designate an entertainment district where you can park and walk to 30 different places. And, it's just not there yet.
Well, the movement is definitely happening, led a lot by the Mr. Gilbert and some of his, I don't think it's him per se, but a lot of the holdings and people behind what he's doing. But they want to make it a downtown where they say a carless downtown where you can walk everywhere. So as this movement starts to shift more in place, it's going to become way more of an active entertainment district. If you've ever downtown in the summertime, you see all those food trucks lined up and down Campus Martius. It looks like Chicago.
Well, that's the thing. If it comes down to a point where there's a huge parking structure down by Hopcat in Midtown.
Yeah.
And I can take the train all the way down.
Yep.
That's hop off at the places I want to see. Then we're talking. That just completely changed the whole landscape of that.
I think you got to think about that. There have been 70 restaurants that have opened in Detroit Midtown in 2015.
Yeah.
And just like last week, the Washington Post
70?
70.
Yeah.
Washington Post ranked Detroit. The headline was one of the country's poorest cities is becoming one of the most important food meccas in the country. So these things move to downtown. These restaurants open. This is bringing people. This is bringing culture. Nightlife is going to follow right after it.
Now let me say this, because I know some of these owners. It's tougher for some, tougher than others. We know restaurants are the hardest business.
If you don't make it in 90 days, you're going cash only with Cisco and you're done.
And
right after the Vince Gal restaurant, 90 days, make it right.
SYSCO, not CISCO. Big difference.
Your routers are going to turn off.
And I definitely want to. I definitely always want to urge people. It's about customer retention too, because there are some people that have been supporting, like everybody in this room that have been supporting these places. So don't try to extend yourself for the new dollar and disregard the old dollar that did exist, because some of these experiences that some people are having, it just takes a little bit of hospitality to make people say to themselves, I want to enjoy myself again and come out to this restaurant again, because it's a lot of people going on dates that aren't being given that up-notch service because these restaurants are trying to stay moving and shaking, and you need a lot of different things to even keep people downtown, because you need the bar, you need the restaurant, you need the bowling alley, you need the arcade, you need the pinball machine, you need people to want to stay
every
in that
city's
area.
got that district.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I go to Covington, Kentucky, right across the border from Cincinnati. They got a huge entertainment district. A little trolley system going around, stopping at all these places. I'm like, man, always.
Well, it's like, look at our New Year's Eve. I mean, our New Year's Eve, we had to Uber everywhere. Well, yeah, we all parked at the hotel. 15-minute Uber over to dinner. 15-minute Uber over to the casino. I mean, it wasn't.
And I don't remember how we got back, but
another 15-minute Uber.
You assume it was another 15-minute.
Oh no, I remember, because I had to tip the guy because he showed up in a big giant Yukon and like 10 of us piled into it. We had people sitting on the floor. We had
No, and I tipped him. I remember tipping him too, because I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
He was a happy guy.
He was
happy
overtipped.
Guy.
We were overserved. He was overtipped.
But that whole feel is what I really want to do with Detroit is Different, and I'm hoping by adding the video dynamic, people can interact with it more, see it, touch it, get a chance to know that a lot of what you all do, because I think that just this whole story and what you all do every time I've been here, great energy, you're great guys, and ITintheD is coming from a genuine place, great content, good people, good energy, and it's the Detroit spirit. It's about making something from an idea that you love and staying committed to it.
Well, I mean, this whole thing was born from, you're charging people to do something that should be free? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? So everything we're doing regarding the meetups and the job fairs and, just, come on, man. You're charging how much? For what? The training. You're charging $8,000 for a class. Like, what?
For one class, yeah.
Yeah, and I got to say congratulations on opening up that whole door and that idea. Eventually, as I get off into this, I'm going to want to go into one of those trainings, because everybody keeps saying, learn code, learn code, learn code. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell does that even mean nowadays? But I would trust you all
a lot of different things
over a lot of other people that are telling me, it's like, know code.
We just had the conversation yesterday with one of the guys that hosts the show here. He's I'm kind of getting sick and tired of doing what I'm doing. I signed up for that thing the day you guys announced it. What do I start with? From your perspective, what do I go do? All right, man, here you go. Boom, boom. And I've had that conversation with a couple of guys from another show that are on here. I mean, that's, like, hey, I'm looking, like, how do I start? And
there's a blog we wrote called The Path.
The Path, yeah.
If you look up ITintheD.com, The Path, we documented the whole thing. Like, hey, I cut grass for a living. I want to get IT. Where do I go? What do I do? This is what you do. Right. Here's the blueprint. And it's not that we made it up.
It's not like we have trade secrets.
No, it's not that we didn't make it up. This is stuff we've seen. I guess we would see it, 25, 30 times firsthand.
Oh, easy.
So this is something that we know is, proven.
So, yeah, I'm definitely excited about getting some video going. And then, like I said, I want to consummate this. I want 2016 to be the year. We start in February. We keep rolling. I'm interested in seeing what type of ideas and topics between you three. It's about to be
we're gonna inundate you. You're gonna be. The problem is we all got faces. Maybe nerd excluded, but we all got faces. Me and Dave got faces for radio.
We'll use the puppets,
right?
The hijinks.
It's like it's like Revenge of the Nerds. Like next time we recommend not sending a group photo. Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, we could. I mean, there's us, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things here, I mean, we're just the tip of the iceberg. We've got we're at 38 shows now that are broadcasting out of here. I mean, it's we've got the Pwned Radio guys, that used to be on 97.1 back in the day. They're firing up this Sunday.
We're a media company, Dave.
It's ridiculous. We've got the Get Your Geek On guys. We've got Karen and her stuff. We do have people around that are much better suited for video than we are.
Theo from the Detroit Lions. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Theo that does the Forward on the Field show. He was the lion on the Wiz on Thanksgiving.
This is what's so funny about that, because I still perform hip hop as like the platform for like all the media stuff.
Hang on, hold that thought. Randy just tweeted out The Path. He found it online and tweeted it out. So if you look up on Twitter, ITintheD, The Path is sitting there right for you.
Okay, that's dope. Thank you. And Theo, the singer both the singers are singers that sing with me when I do my live quarterly shows, the jazz and hip hop. So when I saw him that day, I was performing later. I was like, I do the Lion too, and he was like, oh, they said that day was one of the coldest days ever, but it was too much fun. So
he was like a little kid. He was like the day I was did ring announcing for professional wrestling, where I felt like an 8-year-old kid. I was like, ee! That's how Theo was when he was, self-admitted. That's how he was doing the line.
So I got to get you a Mean Gene Okerlund sport coat one day.
I wore the Pabst Blue Ribbon sport coat at wrestling on Saturday, doing play-by-play. That was I have a blast.
Mean Gene Okerlund. And we got to get you a hotline to get like one-on-one.
So what's so you're talking about Detroit's different, and I know you put a different spin on it. Talk to me about what you're doing in terms of the content you're putting out, how to make it different from all the other,
Well, I think the number one thing is I really think it's a personal narrative. So I think it's some cool other sites out there, whether it be Deadline Detroit, Hell Yeah Detroit. It's so many different blogs in and around that focus on and kind of touch it.
They're cutting and pasting and they're trying to be edgy.
It's a lot,
and everything's like on this like hatred tip, and they're not. There's nothing positive that neither one of them are writing about.
And whereas my whole take is I really want to tell the story. I think people connect best with stories. As a rapper myself, the best songs I've ever connected with were the stories of how people started something. Even just short and understanding so people can connect. Way more than the whole idea of like sell me, sell me, sell me, sell me. Let's get into why you're doing this, and then I think people will have a better appreciation for whatever you're selling or whatever you're doing or so forth and so on.
Right. I mean, it's not like you have to sit there and like blow sunshine on people's asses. It doesn't have to all be positive, but I mean, as long as you're telling the reality of the situation, it's okay. The first couple ruin porn stories were outstanding. It documented an issue in the city and the 9,412th one that's run, you're doing it just to get clicks, but just to be a jag.
And then it gets to the point of even with that, it's kind of flat to me. So we
get it. We all get it. We're all here. We all get it. We all see it.
Whereas if you were to if I were ever to do a piece like that, the first thing I would want to do is I want to get the history behind who owned this building, what happened, what were the ideas for it, and then how did it go astray? Because I know it's a story more to it. It's so many business.
Yeah, it's not like it just happened.
Yeah, when you talk to business people, they'll tell you, this is. Phil Cooley, for example, the owner of Slow's Barbecue. That's one of the people that I've had and, happy to interact with. But when he tells you how Slow's came together and really telling you the whole makeup of it, it came together, haphazardly. He had no idea that it was going to take off the way that it took off. A lot of that reconditioned wood is wood that he ran out of money. And he had to take the roof that was caving in, and the wood from the caving in roof was the reason why the door looks like that, and the reason why the tables look like that, because he had to refinish it and do it himself, and he learned a trade. So, ideas like this aren't stories that you generally get if I'm just trying to get, hey, so what sandwich do you like? Why is the Yardbird so good?
Right.
So it's like, tell me the story. Tell me the.
I never heard that before. That's awesome.
Yeah, so and I'm asking those types of questions. How did you start? Why did you start? What was your connection to this? What about your parents? What were their role in all of this? How did they support you? Because having a commitment to how things happen here in the city of Detroit, because it is so different. It's not New York. It's not LA. You're not going to necessarily have the deepest of pockets, but you will have a lot of good support if you're genuine in your.
But Detroit is the next Brooklyn. Detroit is the next Silicon Valley.
Two things got to happen.
Detroit's Detroit.
Yeah,
shut
that's
up.
Exactly.
Two things got to happen in this town. Three things. One, stop having press releases for streetlight. Put up streetlights. The day that stops, where things are going right. Two. There's no new Detroit, old Detroit. We're all here.
Yeah.
I don't care if you live in the burbs. I don't care if you just moved in a week.
Yeah.
Don't have some air. There's no ownership. We're all here.
Man,
right?
It's one of the toughest discussions, the whole gentrification thing, man, because on one level it's derailing the main point of it's good to see more business and activity happen in the city. And then you have to look at this as opportunity. But we have to stop always looking to complain and always looking for the same other person's opportunity and always looking at things.
That was a prediction. Someone had a thread going on Reddit going, what's the predictions for 2016 for Detroit? I said, someone's going to build something and someone's going to complain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, simple as that. And I go, just stop.
Yeah, it's like if that's what they're doing, if they got, if Lord knows, I don't know, whoever comes, Daddy Warbucks comes and says, I want to invest $1 billion into all these different artists. And Daddy Warbucks doesn't want to give me $1 billion. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'll find my own investors.
I am not
That's
going to
the
invest in your
attitude.
business. Well, that's what,
the attitude we need to have.
Dave caught living hell for just saying, hey, why can't you get together with your community groups and I'll get, money together. And you guys put something together. Like, or just go do, like, instead of complaining, I don't care who you are. I don't care what side. Just, if you don't like what's going on, either you don't support that business or do something else.
Yeah, it's the
jump on the train and go for the ride.
It's the argument that, like, a lot of people say, it's like, Dan Gilbert this, Dan Gilbert that. And I'm like, look, I do think that Dan Gilbert's taking advantages of certain things that other people can't take advantage of. But, I mean, that's what business people do.
It's the real golden
life
rule.
Is about,
he who has the gold makes the rules.
Yeah. Look, life is about competitive advantages. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I need to look at everything he's doing. I got to focus on my side of the chessboard and then move my pieces accordingly, because I guarantee if we were in different shoes, we'd be doing the same thing. So it's one of those things. A lot of people need to just shift their focus and redirect on, how do I focus on my own opportunity? How do I focus on my own creativity? And people will start connecting.
They're building a train downtown. Jump on. Let's have fun. Let's all do it together.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not rocket science.
Yeah, it's so many things. And then that's the beauty of Detroit and this whole area, because even Metro Detroit, it's so many factories, there's so much land, there's so much property. You can do a lot of things here you can't do any other place in America. So you can say to yourself, hey, I want to build a vertical farm that, that goes up 7 stories.
By the way,
you can do that.
Somebody had your idea on Shark Tank. This guy in Minneapolis carved out 10 acres and he leased a bunch of huge Caterpillar equipment.
Dude, I told you.
That's what I'm saying. When I saw it, all I thought about was Dave going, you know how to demolish all the buildings?
4 years ago I published a blog and I'm like, explain to me why this is a bad business idea. Because I went and looked at like eBay and all these sites. Like you can get commercial like bulldozers and wrecking balls and that kind of shit really, really cheap. And then you say, okay, and there's all these buildings that have to get torn down. So instead of $15,000, $20,000 paying a pot to tear down these buildings, you tell a guy like me, hey man, for like $1,000, you can drive a bulldozer through that house.
Oh man,
where do I? Dude, sell raffle tickets. $50. Winning ticket gets to be the one to push the button to blow the building.
You signed the NFL concussion lease.
Oh yeah, you signed. Yes, I'd sign every waiver. Keep a couple million in insurance.
To hit the joystick right and then left on a giant wrecking ball to go to a wall. Sweet mother of God!
You could stand right outside of any divorce court and talk to any man and be like, "Hey man,
didn't they do that about
$50? Come with me.
$50 to like hammer a car? Wasn't that a thing?
Well, there was one construction land out outside of Las Vegas that did it. Like there were people like you could pay to build things. And then this great business. They had one set of people that would come in and pay to like be construction people and like build buildings and all that stuff. And then the next day there was another crew of people that were paying to come in and like blow them up.
So you could get like that same monster truck crowd to like come for $5. Like
right,
Bigfoot.
I got the Silver Dome do that shit in Detroit.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly, man. I still don't understand why it's not happening.
I mean, that's a perfect concept. I mean, things like that. You can do stuff like that. I mean,
who didn't play Rampage? We all played Rampage. And we all loved it.
Did that. Twisted Metal and all. I mean, it's so many different things with the land that exists here, and you got water there. I mean, so much can still be done with water and water sports. And I got a friend that does. I forgot the name of what do you call those real big, weird looking surfboards? He rents those out, and he's actually making
kayaks.
No. It's something else.
A canoe.
It's something else. It's like weird looking, and it's like something Hawaiian or something. But he rents it out, and people come up to him on Belle Isle, and he's made a
That
business of
stuff's
it.
been going on for 150 years at Belle Isle, though.
And you can do stuff, but I mean, you can do
Now
stuff
it's all
like
about
that.
the water-based jetpacks.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, get 2 of those and then rent them out. I don't know.
Right.
Hey, we're bouncing up.
We are. DetroitisDifferent.com.
Yes,
Carl,
yes.
Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. Look forward to having our videos out on your site.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll be back with Corey from the Fan World Canadian and American Expo.
American and Canadian, or
American,
vice versa.
whatever, however you want to go. Well, this is the
America
ITintheD show,
first.
and we'll be right back.
We'll go alphabetical.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hey guys, it's Time Hawk, Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. You're listening to the ITintheD show.
ITintheD.com.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD show.
Welcome back. Segment 4, episode 126. This is the ITintheD show live at Podcast Detroit here in beautiful Ferndale, Michigan. This is Bob, the sales guy, sitting here next to Captain Soundboard, Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com.
Update from the smoker's desk. It's still snowing.
Get your bread and milk. Time.
Up to 3 inches tonight, actually. It's going to be a good one.
That's what she said.
Don't forget, mark your calendars. The 21st, third Thursday, we're going to be at the Firebird Tavern up on Monroe Street, downtown in Greektown. Second floor.
Yeah, parking lot right next door to it. Nice and convenient.
They have
Greektown right across the street.
Euro pierogi, or what is it that they have that's amazing?
Yes, it was the Euro pierogi.
Oh, God, or the dumplings, or whatever they're called. That's like the equivalent of the Reuben egg roll at Falling Down.
Yes. Yeah, that's why you go there.
Right. But no, it's a phenomenal place, and I'll be landing from Overland Park.
Yeah, you're landing at like 3:50.
3:51.
Overland Park, Kansas. What's there? Sprint?
Everyone. I have a big customer there.
Nice.
But yeah, looking forward to getting there right on time.
I'll hold the fort down until you get there.
Yeah, the last seat in the bar, that's mine.
All right.
Good to know.
Hey, but last but not least, our old friends from Midwest Media Expo and from YomaCon. We got Corey and Jeremy in the house.
Hello.
Spinning up a new expo called Fan World.
Yes, completely technically, of course, unaffiliated with YomaCon and Midwest Media Expo.
Right.
But we've got so many of the same staff members and so forth, and we're just kind of like an allied event because we still cross-promote. We're probably going out to some conventions together and so forth, sharing tables and so forth. Everyone obviously here knows YomaCon. It's like got over 19,000 people downtown for 4 days.
18,000 of them Pikachus.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
half of them were women, too. Is weird.
Yeah, I was going to say, 6,000 of them you shouldn't be looking at, or else, the guy from To Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen, why don't you have a seat?
If you add a few of them together, they're legal.
So, Corey, for those that don't know, Midwest Media Expo is a little bit smaller show, and it was more focused on a little bit on anime.
It's completely mixed event.
Cosplay, gaming. We talk about Media Expo. It's not like you got 96.3.
Yeah, TV guests, web guests, and so forth. This year, it's actually April 15th through 17th, and it's actually going to be over in Dearborn this year, which was one of the earlier locations for YomaCon. So, spreading that out there, I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with the cheaper prices for parking and hotels than the Rensen, of course. But when it comes to YomaCon, when you're pushing $20K, there's no place in Michigan. Yeah, absolutely. And our event is actually right between the two of them.
I was going to say, so why, with the timing and all that, like why Niagara Falls, why that time of year?
When I tell you a little bit more about the facility and the venue there, you'll wonder why nobody has ever done this before. It is August 26th through 28th. The event is called Fan World, FANWORLD. The reason it is called Fan World is because we have more of a world feeling, because this event is simultaneously for 24 hours a day for 3 days straight in 2 countries at the same time, with a 10-minute walk over a giant bridge over the Niagara Falls between both venues. And both venues will have...
As drunk as we get at events, that just sounds like a liability issue waiting to happen.
There are really, really tall railings. As long as you don't jump in one of those barrels.
Challenge accepted.
It's on. So, the event itself will have the guests, the celebrity guests, will be at both events. You'll have gaming, you'll have dealers' rooms, you'll have all of these things that you'll see at a normal convention will be on both sides. It is effectively 2 completely separate conventions in a way. right next to each other, simultaneously occurring across an international border that's on the Niagara Falls, one of the most photogenic tourist areas. Go right ahead.
So logistics-wise,
I'm working with customs and everything. What's the logistics?
No, that was it, right? So
yeah,
I'm
that's
have
the
to
logistics.
without my passport every time I walk back and forth, or my enhanced driver's license.
If you can't cross the border, you'll just have a great time at a single convention. If you can cross the border, and more people can than they understand, you're going to have basically the time of your freaking life.
Well, it's only a 3.5 hour drive.
It's a 3-hour drive from
Canada,
just Detroit.
But if you go through New York, it's about 10.
Oh God, yeah. You have to go through Ohio,
Right.
and then you get pulled over by the cops every 15 minutes.
Right, indeed.
Absolutely. And well, you're going to Canada anyway, so there's no reason not to cut through Ontario.
That is one of the longest. We went to Niagara. That drive. When's the last time you drove to Niagara Falls?
I'm going to go 15 years.
Oh, wow. The drive to, let's say, the drive to southern Indiana is the most exciting drive in the world compared to this one.
I know.
There's nothing between Windsor and
It's
Niagara Falls.
cruise control and tunes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
There's Ohio and Pennsylvania. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing. Here's what most people don't understand, especially if you're born and we'll go with the U.S., for example. Obviously, you got a lot of Canadians listening to this show, a lot of Buffalonians, a lot of Toronto types. To cross the border, if you are an American, now listen to this, American, yeah. If you're born in America, you're no felonious background, anything like that. What most people don't understand is...
You're not going, Bob.
Yeah. To cross the border, when you get to Canada, they don't really care about your credentials. When you come back to the United States, they're not going to churn you away. I have this in writing, and I know this from experience, from the actual heads of customs. To get across the border from Fan World, if you are an American, you only require an enhanced license, a passport, or even your birth certificate and a legal state ID will get you across. No joke. Most people don't understand this because...
Now, see, how many times have we heard, the nightmare horror stories about people, hopping across to Windsor or...
I go to Windsor once a month, or every 2 months.
So
we just went for dinner.
They're not going to be a dick to you because I can't come back with my passport, with my global entry, with my enhanced driver's license, and they're still dicks to me. So if I come back with, here's my passport and my state ID...
Well, here's the thing. With Fan World, you're walking across. You're more than likely. There's no real reason to drive
like a
back and
turnstile.
forth. When you have
Disney World.
Yeah, when you have a 10-minute walk over a natural wonder like this, a 10-minute walk between both venues, there's no real reason to be driving. So you're not hiding... people in your trunk. You're not hiding. You don't have a drug ring hidden underneath.
100 pounds a kilo in my ass.
Yeah. So what's so they're not going to, as long as you have the credentials, they're not going to really stop you because, well, you're just you walking across. Right. They might want to know what's in your pockets if you have backpacks, but it's a lot easier, and it's 50 cents to cross the border when you're on foot.
It's a turnstile.
Yeah.
So what's that? I mean, so you got Niagara Falls, you got Buffalo. Yep. What's to the left and what's to the right? Why would you leave one to go to the other? Is it different stuff?
Oh, there's different stuff on both sides. Now, for one thing, on each side, at both venues of Fan World, there is a 24-hour, at least one 24-hour casino. On the Canadian side, which is called Clifton Hill, you will also see right in the same building as our venue is North America's largest indoor water park and resort. So... yeah, you have everything.
So we're gonna be like, we gotta get in our bathing suits, and then we gotta go back and.
You can do whatever you want.
Lazy River, no, dibs on Lazy River the whole weekend.
To cross the border,
right?
Cross the border. A lazy river across the border.
It's not so lazy when you take the Niagara River. It depends on which way you're going, I suppose. Yeah, on the two sides, there's everything from a Ferris wheel, aviaries, dinosaur mini golf, Marineland is right there. If you're going into the whole tourism,
is that like Canadian SeaWorld?
Yeah, you don't get the commercials up here or whatever. What else? I mean, it's
no, but from a guest and actual activities, at the cons. What's the focus the focus points of the cons?
You want to go to Fan World and not just the location. Well, let me tell you why. For one, it is a 24-hour event with free-to-play video games, tournaments, all these things. But then you have celebrity guests. We have very pretty well-known webcomic artists and creators. We have voice actors. If to name a few names right offhand, we have, if you're familiar with any online, I'm guessing you are more so, Nostalgia Critic and the Angry Video Game Nerd are both going to be there doing obviously their stuff. Because it's similar to like Midwest Media Expo, we're going to have a variety of things. It's not just for the Japanese anime Nation fans or anything like that. We have William Kersher, who is, if you are familiar with the Hobbit trilogy.
I was going to say, why do I know that name?
Yeah, he's actually one of the main dwarves, Beefer, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's one of the main cast members from the Hobbit trilogy. So he's coming in for us from New Zealand. You've got, who remembers the movie Hook?
A little bit.
Kind of grew up with that movie. That was totally my
Everybody
day.
grew up with that movie. One of our guests of honor is going to be Dante Bosco, who is actually Rufio.
Rufio, yes!
Bangarang.
Awesome, totally.
Yeah, absolutely. He's actually the voice of Prince Zuko, one of the main characters in a fangirl favorite from the long-running Nickelodeon show Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
His love interest in that show is a Fire Nation character named May. This is the first time and only time in history we are bringing both voice actors together in public.
Wow.
It is the actual reunion of the two lovers from the incredibly popular Nickelodeon show. They have never even been in public together while working on this show. They never even went out to lunch or anything.
They're totally going to bang after the show. I'm just throwing it out.
That's the 18 plus show. Right. It's also on Lazy River. In a barrel. Oh man, what else we got here?
John St. John going to be there?
Oh my God, haven't you had enough of John St. John? Go drink with them. Youmacon, Midwest Media Expo. You'll find them there.
Bob St. Bob and Dave St. Dave. It's great.
Now you're just stuttering. You just spit beer at me.
So what's the so what does it cost to get in?
We're going to be opening a pre-registration any day now on our website, which obviously you'll hear at the end of this. But at the door will be, quote me on this one, will be under $40 at the door for full access. That's all 3 days, both venues. If you have an admission ticket for one side, you have an admission ticket for all. We don't sell just
the U.S. side, the Canadians. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Under $40 to walk into this event the day of for all 3 days, 24 hours. Most of our guests sign autographs, take photos for free. All of that for under $20 USD.
That's crazy.
Yep. That's nuts.
I was going to say.
I mean, you know us from Youmacon and Midwest Media Expo. We have some of the same philosophies and so forth. Got a lot of the same founders and department heads and so forth that we've had.
Right.
Why change something that works so well? Fans don't want to. A lot of times fans don't want to go and spend $100, go stand in line for the bathroom, and then pay an extra $5 to get a ticket to go to the bathroom, and then stand in line and give some guy $60 for their autograph.
Well, I remember when going to cons, you would pay for your entrance, and then you would have 4, 5, or 6 $20 bills for autographs for whoever you wanted to see.
Or the cosplayers if they dance
whatever.
or something.
Right. But that doesn't happen anymore because autographs have gotten insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like, quickly. Like, it wasn't... It was only 3-4 years ago.
On what planet is Lou Ferrigno a $60 autograph?
Lou Ferrigno's at every single convention, I swear. I swear there's clones of him, just in case there's conventions the same weekend as other conventions. I don't see a single comic convention or a media event anymore that does not have Lou Ferrigno at it.
So are you guys doing any paneling, or are you mostly just having the guests in like a expo room?
We have events after events. We've got some big things we can't talk about. Obviously, you got the reunions. We're going to have fan panels. We're currently working on, and get this one. This one's going to be a running joke with you guys for a long time, but I can tell you the female cosplayer crowd digs this. We are going to have an alpaca petting zoo.
What's the deal with alpacas?
It's a thing. In Japan, you can spend
here too. In Detroit, there's supposed to be an alpaca farm. I was like, what the hell?
You can spend like $20,000 in Japan and pose with an alpaca for your wedding pictures.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to find you these pictures on the internet.
Good God.
We'll get somebody to tweet them out. They're amazing.
You're going to pull up all these pictures.
I got nothing.
And for the steampunk crowd.
What?
Yes. Yeah, they'll walk down the aisle with you for the same price for like good price. Yeah.
Shitting on the red carpet. Extra.
No joke.
You take it with you on your honeymoon for crying out for that much?
They perm them. They turn them pink. They do things with alpacas and llamas in Japan.
What's wrong with you people?
Coming just because you have an alpaca petting zoo. It's done.
You put that on Twitter for crying out loud. Yeah, oh my God, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
And obviously, this is going to be a huge place for cosplayers because there's Japanese gardens. There's the falls. Can you put
us on a podcast panel show at the same time as like the awesome steampunk concert that like the whole entire place went to. So there was like 2 people that went to our panel. That would be awesome if you could do that again. Yeah.
So we don't have any steampunk fans at this point, but a very interesting thing about our location is the same location Nikola Tesla did all of his experiments on radio.
Yeah.
So he actually has a memorial on both sides at both venues. So if you're a steampunk fan, go take a picture with your idol as a statue.
I was gonna say, I don't know if
your big bronze god.
I don't know if he relates or not, but when we met Ming and Mike from AMC's Comic Book Men, Ming Chen lives in Jersey. That's I don't know how far Buffalo is from.
Niagara Falls is probably 8 hours.
Is it really that far? Oh, never mind.
If you're in Niagara Falls, it is a couple hours shorter to get to Detroit than even New York City. So.
Oh, no, I'll get Joel and the New Hampshire crew to come out.
Oh boy.
Now that one's about a 9-hour drive. Done that one before.
No, but you can get hotels dirt cheap. Like we stayed at like the nicest Marriott.
Oh yeah,
on the top floor, looking at the falls for like $100 a night.
Yeah.
And obviously, I like to come on this show. It's my hat trick now, my 3rd time on here.
Yeah.
I like to come on with a little bit of
and you've done the trifecta. You had one time at the old studio.
Oh yeah.
One time at the live event at Blackfin, and now the new place.
I got a Bobby Orr hat trick here, so absolutely. I just need a fight. Okay. We actually have a little bit of an announcement on something that we're working on. I think a lot of people are going to be find pretty groovy. So. Last time I was on here,
Groovy. The Scooby Doo crew is reuniting.
Absolutely.
At the Groovy. No, nothing.
Yeah,
never mind.
Casey Kasem's a little. Anyways.
Yeah, that'd be a little.
Get a shovel, I guess. So. Last time I was on here with Midwest Media Expo, obviously we came in with we announced the big guests and so forth.
Yep.
So I'm bringing something this time. This is the first time anyone in public knows about this one, but we might have a certain composer from Konami from Japan who's coming out for, I don't know, certain piano concerts, meets and greets, and so forth. From a certain series that might start with an M and end with Metal Gear Solid.
Nice.
Wow. I don't know what are you talking about? I don't know.
That's funny. That's what happens when you're on your phone.
He's looking at alpaca. He's looking at that alpaca porn.
They're beautiful animals. I'm just saying.
He was busy registering alpornca.com.
Yeah. No, I remember playing the original Metal Gear. That was one of the just the music. It was
game,
amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this woman, her name might be Rika Muranaka. She has actually composed the music for some of the songs and a lot of the music from Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and so forth, all the way up until now, as well as the endings to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, obviously the original Silent Hill game, and so forth. So basically, there's 2 big composers of Konami, and we brought them both out within basically a year because the Silent Hill composer was out for Midwest Media Expo, and now it looks like she's coming out for Fan World over here in Niagara Falls.
See, that's what I like about your shows, Corey. Other cons have Ian Ziering and Virgil from wrestling, and you actually bring insanely cool people you would never expect to meet, but it's insanely cool to, you know what I mean?
Well, from Japan and so forth, yeah, absolutely. When you're going to see them,
Right, the voiceover people, how freaking cool. You'd never in a million, think about, wanting to meet, but, you bring, these people that, you find, oh my God, this is so-and-so from Duke Nukem. I freaking grew up playing this stupid game.
And here I am drinking a glass of tequila with him.
Right.
He's drinking one for each one of you. That's not St. John. So, I don't know. So yeah, that's basically the theory.
That's very cool.
We decided to just take on this idea, bring it to basically our neighbors, our Rust Belt neighbors right across the Great Lakes. They're a 3-hour drive across over there. A lot of similarities in the kind of industry, in the obviously society and so forth. We both have terrible football teams and so forth. So, yeah, basically that's the concept. We have a convention that's in 2 countries at the same time, where we can pull off of the Western New York, Buffalo, Rochester crowd, even the New York City and Pittsburgh crowd to a degree, as well as, obviously, Toronto. It's the first or second largest city on the continent, probably right by Mexico City there. So we have it on a natural wonder. I mean, name another place that would be as beautiful with as many things. North America's largest indoor water park and resort is right there. You have 24-hour casinos for the older crowd right there. You're going to have, obviously, you guys will have fun drinking on either side of the border, but it's 19 in Canada, and we have people who just walk back to their hotels instead of driving.
Wax museums, come on.
Oh, there's
Madame Tussauds.
There's like 3 or 4 wax museum there. There's like 5 or 6 large arcades right there.
I was convinced
as well
half of them were real.
Oh yeah, the Jack Sparrow,
Yeah,
absolutely. The Joker
yeah.
was staring at me. We had a
Right.
staring contest,
Yeah.
absolutely. I won. So yeah, that's basically the concept. It's people looked at us when we said let's do this. Let's do a convention that has 2 different centers in 2 different countries that you can walk to in probably the best tourist area possibly on the continent, where we keep it under under $40 USD for the full weekend when you just walk up to the door with all of these big guests and all of these big features. People looked at us and they were like, "There's no way you can pull it off." It's like, done.
Even I think without the whole being in 2 countries thing, I still think this sounds pretty damn cool.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like you guys are bringing a really good quality show for a really good price. Just a lot of cool shit going on.
Nowadays, there are conventions popping up everywhere. Let's be honest. Let's go grab a bunch of comic book people, throw them in a room, and charge people $50 at the door and see if they'll fall for it.
Yeah, and call it a con.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to have 24-hour programming. We have, do you guys know what Artemis is? It's basically
totally. The bridge simulator.
The bridge simulator. Basically, you and a few friends basically reenact the Star Trek cast, and Joe, you're over there working on engines. Give us more power on this one. You fly us over that way. And one of you is the captain.
Damage report.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nuclear vessels.
We have nuclear vessels. Hello, computer.
Why is that damn whale making so much noise back there?
Well, Shatner's gained a few pounds, but I wouldn't put him.
No, I was going the whale. That one. Well, stupid. That was the worst.
4.
What's that? You want me to buy it from Priceline?
Yeah,
right.
The 2-hour commercial for Greenpeace. Yes.
Right.
Exactly. He did a little too much LDS over in Berkeley. So.
Right.
Wait, why did Alpaca Land Detroit just tweet us?
Randy Walker. Thank you, buddy.
Nice. So what are the dates again?
The dates are August 26th through 28th, 2016.
And you said pre-sales coming up soon.
Websites are, and here's the multiple thing, websites, because you might be American, you might be Canadian, FanWorld, FANWORLD.US for your American site information and exchange rates. FanWorld.ca for all of your Canadian information and exchange rates.
Oh, Nerdy's sad.
I'm looking at my calendar. Burning Man starts that Sunday, so I'm like,
really?
shit.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's honestly the first thing we've seen that actually is the same weekend. It's kind of uncanny in the mid-late August.
I do Friday and
we
Saturday.
can't find an actual reputable event that's the same weekend on this continent. Or I guess we found one technically.
That's
I don't know. They call Burning Man reputable.
Oh, yeah. The alpacas are ruining Burning Man.
Well, when they're done with
FanWorld and run around doing LSD.
LDS.
Sounds like a good
You
time
can do
for
that
me.
up north for crying out loud.
Berkeley to
We'll tell
desert,
you you're there, nerd. Yeah.
All right, totally.
So yeah, composers Dante Bosco from Hook and Avatar with the Great Reunion. Voice actors, angry video game nerd and nostalgia critic. Not just one or two. They're like exponentially more. How would you put it? Chaotic. I can tell by the look on your face.
Vitriolic, or I don't know what the right word is.
Vitriolic.
Spit and vitriol.
Oh, they're friends. Don't let that pass. Don't let that go. They work a lot on like charity events and so forth. We're probably going to do something like go over a barrel with one of them if you win the charity raffle. I don't know. We got boats that go right up to the falls, like the Maid of the Mist and so forth. So honestly, this is that event that's before school starts. It's the best weather possible for that venue, for that location. This is the event where you're maybe a teenager, you want to meet your avatar voice actor or something like that. You're in your 20s, or maybe if you're in your 30s and your 40s and you're kind of have that old school nerd in you and you've got kids, this is the family-friendly event. Dad's going to go, lose the pot up at the casino. Mom's going to take pictures outside at the falls.
I'm going to find the pot up in Canada.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
2 words, decriminalized.
Yeah.
Well, this is a cool concept.
No, thank you.
Seriously cool.
A bunch of us have been working on it, and a bunch of us have been, let's just say, organizers from some of the largest conventions and sponsors from some of the largest conventions on the continent. So it's a lot of us who have a lot of experience, who are still fans at heart, trying to bring the best we can to a region that it needs it. This Rust Belt between Youmacon, Midwest Media Expo, basically doing more for the city of Detroit, let's be honest, than a lot of those in government or welfare assistance and so forth. And the same over here in Niagara Falls, basically just neighbors to the 3 hours to the east. Why not? This is bring a lot to the cities and bring a lot to the fans.
Very, very cool.
More stuff to go to.
Exactly. Another
year's full.
Another road trip to put on the calendar.
Sounds awful. I hate them all. Who am I kidding? It's going to be great.
Pictures of Bob with alpaca. That's all I ask for.
I want a riding one. I want to ride one.
With a sword?
We've been sending tweets back and forth with Alpaca Land DET. It's a thing.
They're trying to bring in an alpaca farm because Detroit needs more cute.
I can't deal with that right now. All right, so it's fanworld.us and fanworld.ca.
Absolutely.
We had Kari on earlier from DetroitIsDifferent.com. Give them a look. We'll be doing some video with him coming up in the very near future. And, of course, we had Michelle on from Comcast, Michigan. She's at Comcast MI. Probably, hopefully the kids are in bed and she's furiously answering tweets as we speak.
And if you want to go on Twitter, go follow Alpaca Land DET for Alpaca Land Detroit.
Because Detroit needs more cute.
It does.
I'll have alpaca smokes is what I'll have. That's all I'll have. And again, don't forget, so we have our first event of the year coming up next Thursday. That's the 21st. We're down at Firebird Tavern. We'll be upstairs. Great, beautiful bar up there, having a good casual networking event. No sales guys, no pitches, no nothing.
I'm allowed to go.
You're allowed. No, no cover charges, no anything. Come on out and have fun. And this was episode 126.
Good God.
Of the IT and the D show. Find us and everything we are out at ITintheD.com. We've got our read, meet, listen, learn, work tabs out there, and you can see all the fun stuff that we do. So I guess it's snowing and
time to get the bread milk.
Yeah.
Did you know David Bowie died? I just saw this on Facebook.
Did you know that if the Powerball jackpot was split between...
You could give every single adult human...
An alpaca.
Worth $4.33 million.
And a cup of coffee.
So do us a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. This is the IT and the D show. Drive careful. Beat it.
Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name?
Murphy. Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so...
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Root.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would, Buick put their cars next to, the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing. The alphabet. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.
This is a previously recorded episode of the ITintheD Show.